Once we figured out that that scale factor was 0.4, we could then take our original length and multiply it by 0.4 to get this corresponding side that goes with it. Okay? All right. We're going to look at this one. This is a challenge. See if we can answer this, and we're moving on to something new. The challenge says, if the scale factor from A to B is 2, what is X? So if we had to multiply to get from A to B to get by 2, what would X be? 3. To go the opposite way, we're going to divide by 2, to get the original length of 3. Good. All right, so we're going to do an activity, and you're going to need whiteboards. We're going to be in groups of 3 for this. Okay, so we are going to count off by 3s today. All right, so what we're doing with this activity is every group has a clear board that has 13 different cards in it. And you are going to look at the original shape, which is always going to be A, and its scaled copy, which is B, and determine what is the scale factor. So what are we multiplying A by to get B? Easiest thing to do would be to count the side lengths. And I'm telling you right now, all of these are scaled copies. You're not checking to see, is it a scale copy? They all are scaled copies, so you don't have to check that piece. You're just telling me, what do we multiply A by to get B? So looking at your side length on A, if we looked at card 1, for example, the top side length in card A is what? Look at your clear board. Top side length in card A for number 1 is 3. So what's that corresponding length in B? 6. So what would our scale factor be? What do we multiply the original? So all you have to write here would be 2. The scale factor is 2. Okay? So you're going to work as a group to do all 13 of those, and then we'll go through answers together. Okay? All right, here we go. So for our notes, in your notes, we're looking at scale factors and how we figure out the scale factors. So what do we notice about card 10, which I think is the one on the left up there, yeah? Okay, for card 10, it's doing what? It's getting bigger. So our scale factor, anytime it's getting bigger, what do we say? The scale factor is going to be?
Less than 1 or bigger than 1.
Not necessarily a whole number, but it is going to be bigger than 1. It's going to be bigger than 1. So when it's getting bigger, it needs to be multiplied by something bigger than 1 or greater than 1. That says bigger than 1.
Isn't it the same as 13? As card 13?
What's the difference between 10 and 13? It's getting smaller. So they are the same two shapes, but to go from here to here, we're getting bigger. To go from here to here, we're getting smaller. Yeah, these are right off. These are 10 and 13 off your clear board. Yes.
For 10, I think it's 3.4.
3.4 for the scale factor. So well, we didn't have any 3.4s, so probably not. Let's count. So easiest thing, hey, focus. Easiest thing to do is to look at like actual straight lines. So to get from here to here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is 6. And this one we said was 18 when we counted it. Okay? So 6 times what gives us 18? 3. It's just 3. So our scale factor here is 3. Okay? But, so you should be writing that under where it says getting bigger. You should be writing, you need to multiply by something bigger than 1 or greater than 1. This is what you're filling in. If the scale factor is getting bigger, or if the copy is getting bigger, your scale factor gets multiplied by something bigger than 1. So then for card 13, we're going to multiply by something smaller by 1.
And it's 1/3.
So those will often be written in fraction form. So for this one, we said, yes, it's kind of that reciprocal 1/3.
You should have used black to write the 1/3 and then it would have been like the opposite.
Oh, hang on, I'll fix it for you, okay? Since you asked nicely. Good?
Perfect.
Okay,
Thank you.
that's a big takeaway. That is something that you need to know. If it's getting bigger, our scale factor is bigger than 1. If it's getting smaller, our scale factor is less than 1. Okay, if you can figure out what it would be going the opposite, so again, if I look at this one and say, well, I don't know what fraction I'm multiplying by, but if I start with my copy and look at my original and know that I have to multiply my copy by 3, take the reciprocal of that. 1/3 is going to be your scale factor then. Okay, you can also do what we've talked about, dividing your copy length by its corresponding original length. Okay, all right, then at the bottom of your note,
Times 1.
we said that these ones stayed the same, so anytime it stays the same, we're going to multiply a scale factor of 1. So on the bottom, when it stays the same, scale factor is 1.
Done.
Of 1, and that's fine. Yep. Anyone have questions on what we've talked about and looked at today? All right, you can go ahead and glue this in as your next page of your notes. Add it to your notebook.